Here begins the first verse of chapter 17 of the book of Exodus. All the congregation of the sons of Israel moved on from the wilderness of Sin by stages, according to the commandment of the Lord, and camped at Rephidim. But there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore, the people found fault with Moses and said, "Give us water to drink." And Moses said to them, Why do you find fault with me? Why do you put the Lord to the test? But the people thirsted therefore, and Moses cried out to the Lord, What shall I do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me. And the Lord said to Moses, Pass on before the people, taking with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the rod with which you struck the Nile, and go on. Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock of Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water shall come out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so, in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the fault-finding of the sons of Israel, and because they put the Lord to the test by saying, Is the Lord among us or not? Amalek attacks Israel and is defeated. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel at Rephidim. And Moses said to Joshua, Choose for us men and go out. Fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. So Joshua did as Moses told him, and fought with Amalek, and Moses and Aaron, and Hur went up to the top. His hands grew weary. So they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat upon it, and Aaron and Hur helped up his hands, one on the one side, and the other on the other side. So his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua mowed down Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said to Moses, Write this as a memorial in a book, and recite it in the ears of Joshua, that I will utterly blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it, The Lord is my banner, saying, A hand upon the banner of the Lord. The Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Here ends the first reading.
Thanks be to God.
Our first reading, chapter 17 from the book of Exodus, the miracle when water came forth from the rock by the stroke of Moses, has a wonderful encouragement for us these days when struggling with the coronavirus. The situation that the people are thirsty and are in need of an essential life sustenance, it's a similar situation to ours. Gave life and strength, spiritual and moral strength to the people. And the situation which followed is very similar to our present challenge. Amalek, an enemy, came, a threat, and they had to fight. Just as our government, civil authorities, medical staff families, local church communities are making great sacrifices and fighting back the virus. And as we read, whenever Moses held up his hand, Israel prevailed, and whenever he lowered his hand, Amalek prevailed. It's a powerful image that we have to raise up our souls and minds to the source of the living water of our daily life sustenance. And when our hope, faith and love is strengthened by our God, in that case we prevail. But Moses' hands grew weary, so they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat upon it, and Aaron and Hur held up his hand, one on one side and the other on the other side. This is the role of our churches, even if there will be reduced services in Christian churches, but still the priests are encouraged to go on with their daily mass and prayers, morning, evening prayers. But the Christians who are praying in their homes or when they visit the church, it is like giving support to Moses, sitting on the stone, having our hands raised. And the regular prayer of the church has exactly this function. These set prayers are, and because today this is the feast of Saint Joseph, spouse of the Virgin Mary, it's great to celebrate such a powerful saint who has compassion for all the workers, for all who earn their livings. The role of the saints is similar to ours. They keep praying at the throne of God, flanked by these saints and very powerful intercessions. So let us receive our Eucharist in this hope and with this confirmation of our task to remain faithful and to give a prayer support to all the efforts which people, civil authorities, governments, families and local churches are making.